Most indie developers have trouble finishing their games. A lot of us keep on going to the next idea and the next idea. It's kind of a meme in online communities. So in this video I want to talk to you guys about just kind of like how I went about solving this, and the way I did it is by finishing a game in 7 days. I created a really tight timeline for myself and tried to complete the game really quickly. And in this video we'll talk about all of the process, everything that went into that, kind of like the day-to-day and the result. You guys can even play the game if you want at the end. So my idea was to create something between Jump King and Pocket style, that kind of style where it's kind of like a 2D platformer that's really difficult. I'm a programmer, so I focus on the coding, and I set up some rules for myself, which are no drawing of art, just like editing things a little bit from what I download, and no production of music or any sound effects. I'll just download everything. I use Epidemic Sound. I'm not sponsored by them, but they're a website that they have a lot of music and sound effects. The two things that I did do were, of course, coding and level design, which is a lot of fun. Putting together the levels, I like doing that. So at the beginning, it was pretty kind of, I was losing motivation a little bit because the game didn't feel as good. At the beginning, I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know if this challenge was going to be any worth it, or if people were going to enjoy playing this game. So I had a lot of doubts. But something that I did to overcome that is to start adding music and sound effects really quickly. So during the first 2 days, I started just adding background music, adding sound effects, and it kind of got me feeling a lot better about the game, even though it wasn't perfect or super polished yet. I thought it could just turn into something if I kept working on it. So and I during these 2 days I focused on the mechanics, the core mechanics, making sure the player could interact well with the gliders, and everything felt tight. I chose the main character as well. I just grabbed it from itch.io. It was a free character asset. On days 3 and 4, I focused more on adding levels and kind of like more on the level design of the first 3 sections of the game. By sections, I mean the different background colors and different kind of styles of art. It was plenty of just iteration. I think at the beginning, it didn't feel that great playing the game because it was mostly horizontal platforms, and it felt pretty repetitive. The only thing that was changing was the background. So I started to get creative, and I added more kind of different kinds of objects to levels, and that made it a bit more fun, I think. Just added more variety to the platforms that you could bump into and kind of like how you progress through the game. On day 5, I took a break. Didn't really had a lot of time to work on the game, so I had to just not take a break, do other stuff, and then come back the next day. On day 6 and 7, I started the last section, the kind of like the last part of the game, the ending music, polishing overall how it all feels, like the menu, the kind of like some instructions at the beginning, kind of how the game. I feel that I want to still fix more stuff. I still have a lot of things to fix and polish of this game. I think but I did the bare minimum to just get it ready so that people can play it, and it has a beginning, like a middle and an end, and it can feel like a game. I think I could spend another week just figuring out all the details and like kind of making the interactions more smooth. So the result overall, I'm pretty happy with the game, even though it's not gonna be like a top 10 games of 2022. I think it's still a pretty good shot at creating a game, especially because I did it on my own. It took only a week. I think I like this challenge. So I mean, if you want to play the game, it's on Steam. It's gonna be for free there. I'll probably put it on alpha and then try to update it soon so that it just feels better. Some things that I learned is that having a tight deadline is sometimes good because it pressures you to focus and keep making progress on whatever it is you're working on, especially if it's a video game. because these projects tend to be really big and large in scope. So having some sort of timeline is really helpful to keep you accountable and keep you focused on what you should be doing. Normally it's really easy to just spend the night doing whatever else, watching videos online or just watching Twitch. This challenge helped me focus a lot more in the night. I wasn't thinking about doing something else. I knew I had to just work on this project. This little project that I set up for myself. Second thing is that usually you'll find most stuff on YouTube, especially on Unity. So there's a ton of tutorials on Unity on how to do whatever it is you want. Even if you're a complete beginner, if you know nothing about Unity coding, you could get pretty far by just watching tutorials, getting familiar with coding, getting familiar with C# and how it all ties together. They walk you step by step, which is pretty awesome. Sometimes you get stuck on really weird things that you don't know how to set up. But then on YouTube tutorials, the cool thing is that they drag and drop everything, they connect everything together. So you just kind of see how it all works. Most of the time, for whatever it is you want to do, somebody else already did it and put up a tutorial for that. And you're gonna understand the basics or the fundamentals of how things work, and then you can customize that. I enjoy this more than I thought I would. It's sometimes hard to make myself accountable, but making YouTube videos is making it so that I kind of grow more as kind of a coder, and in this case developing a game, which is something fun. So I had more fun than I thought I would have, especially towards the end. At the beginning it was just kind of like didn't feel that great, but then it started feeling better towards the end. This was what I did. This is what worked for me. Kept the scope really small, try to make this game in 7 days, have a cohesive start and end on the game. Highly recommend you guys, if you are starting out on indie game development, to just create something small, set up a short period of time, get something done, put it out there, get some feedback, and move on to the next one or continue polishing that one, whatever it is. But put it on the player's hands early on, so that you can kind of understand what works and what doesn't. And that's about it. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more coding videos, personal development stuff, or whatever it is that I'll be creating, consider subscribing and like this video if you enjoyed the content. Thank you guys. See you guys in the next one. Peace.